Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Terraform section. So today we will be looking into some variables, input variable, output variable. Okay, and before that we will just look into how we can secure our credentials as well. Okay, so as of now, if you see within this provider.tf, I have added this code regarding this Terraform block, and this is the code regarding the provider, in which region I have to create my resources, which is nothing but a Mumbai region, and in which account I have to create it. So I have to provide the access key and secret access key. But let's say if you are done with writing the Terraform up code and you have to go ahead and upload this to the GitHub, because anyhow you will not keep your project code on your local system. You will upload it on your maybe GitHub or maybe any other repository, GitLab. So there can be a number of repositories, okay, and those are nothing but online repositories. So definitely these credentials will be of your own account, okay, not of your own account, maybe of your own user. So mainly होता क्या है, जब project start होता है, so mainly we will be having only one account and there will be the n number of users. So let's say developer भी इस AWS account पे काम करता है, infra का person, DevOps person, networking guy also working on this account. So each and every user will have particular IAM user, okay. So this will have a particular IAM user, this will have different IAM users. So each and every person will have different IAM users. So different IAM users will have this different access key and secret access key. So this is owned by that particular user only. So in that case, I don't want to reveal this, because anyhow if I want to upload this code, it will come with access key and secret access key. But what if I want to go ahead and skip this part? So in that case, somehow I need to configure this credentials. So for that matter, you have also seen already in case of our AWS, we used to have this AWS configure, and let's upload those credentials, access key, then secret access key, default region. Okay, so once we are done with this part, AWS configure, and whatever access key and secret access key I have provided, then I can go ahead and skip this as well. So even though if I don't write anything over here, my Terraform plan, Terraform apply will definitely work. Okay, this is just because I have added my credentials within this AWS profile. So always whenever you do the AWS configure, the credentials will go and resides under this users admin, so under the .aws folder. You'll see in case of credentials, the same credentials which I have just copy pasted got added over here, means one .aws folder will get created once you do the AWS configure, and within that this is the default profile. We can create as many profiles as we want, and within that we have access key and secret access key. So now onwards, uh, we don't have to worry about writing or hard coding the credentials over here. So now if you want to upload your code, so that doesn't matter, because there is no secrets or there is no credentials added over here. And apart from that, your code is also going to like a Terraform plan and Terraform apply is also going to work in our case. So let's see if it really works or not for us. So for that matter, let's go ahead and create an EC2 instance without this providing access key and secret access key over here, as we have already added those things in the AWS configure. So we are in the TF code in which we have all these files, and as of now I don't have any resource created, so that's why this state file also looks blank. There is no resource section over here. Okay, so there is no resources in my infrastructure. So let's go ahead and do the Terraform plan. So this is going to show me that one resource is going to get added, and that is nothing but an EC2 instance. Okay, so let's go to our, let's check if we have any instance present already within my Mumbai region. Okay, I don't have any instance over here, and plan also suggesting me that one resource is getting added. So let's see. So this is going to add a EC2 instance. So I just wanted to show you that even if you remove that access key and secret access key, that is still okay. Only thing you need to do in respect to that is nothing but AWS configure and configure your credentials in your local system, and that will be the secure thing in that case, because you don't have to share those credentials with anyone in that case. So now you can see, even though I don't have those credentials in my TF configuration files, but still my Terraform plan and Terraform apply is in progress. Okay, plan got successful and apply is in progress. So this is going to work definitely for us. So this is a one way of managing your credentials, and within my account I should have the EC2 instance over here which is just created. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. Let's delete this or destroy this. And now we will look into the variable section. Means over here I have defined that this is the instance type t2.micro, so I'm hard coding this. Okay, but let's say if I want to make use of this ec2.tf for my let's say a testing environment, same configuration file for my staging, maybe production, development, there are different types of the environment. Okay, and I wanted to make use of the same configuration file. In that case, definitely maybe testing will have t2.micro, production will have t2.large, and some other environment have t2.medium. So this instance type may change. Okay, so it's not good practice to hard code the variable value over here. Okay, so that's why we can make use of the variable so that we don't have to worry about hard coding the things. Okay, so for that matter I'm just going to create one of the variable with the name as, let's say, my instance type, and let's say the default value of that variable is t2.micro. Okay, and now as I have defined one variable, my instance type, so there is no need to hard code these things over here. So if you want to call it, so you just have to do var dot my instance types. Okay, var dot my instance type जब आप करते हो तो उसका value you will get from this. So t2 micro will be the value associated with that. This is how a variable you can delete those hard coded things and create a variable for that and use a variable. Okay, so let's see if it is really working fine or not at our end. So let me do Terraform plan only, because in the plan section only we will come to know what things will be get, means which all things will get created in our account. Okay, based on the current configuration files. So I should get an output that instance type should be t2.micro over here. So you can see instance type is equal to t2.micro. Okay, so instead of like looking into the entire plan, I can directly do Terraform plan pipe grep instance underscore type just to see the required output. That is also possible, like instead of scrolling up and looking into the entire plan every time. So we got this t2.micro. Let's say if I change it to t3.micro and save it, or let's say t2.medium, and let's save it, and let's see what will be the output now in this case after modifying the value of that variable. So now you will be looking that we got a value t2.medium. So this is how a variable things is going to work. And there is as per the standard practice, it's not recommended to write the variable in the same file. Okay, it's always recommended to write the variables in a variables.tf. Okay, the name of the file can be anything, but as we are writing the variables within this file, so that's all. So that's why it's always a good practice to create one more file with the variables.tf. Okay, and let's not provide anything related to variable in the ec2.tf. Okay, so that we will be having all the variables in the same file, and if anything needs to be changed, only the change will be the value of the variable. And the way it worked for, like earlier we were having 2 tf files, now we are having 3 tf files, but it will work in the same way as it is. Okay, so that is not an issue for us. So let's see if we have added one more one more file and deleted the content of variable from the ec2.tf and added it in the variables.tf, but we will get the same output, that's for sure. Okay, so you can see I got the same output t2.medium. So likewise, you can define as many variable as you want. Instead of hard coding the things, you can define the variable for AMI as well. Let's say I can create one more variable called AMI, like my AMI, and I'll provide this value, and I'll make use of var dot my AMI. That is also possible for me. Okay, and just for understanding purpose, there are multiple options over here. One is the description option. That description option is mainly for just to provide an information about this variable. This is just for understanding purpose. Okay, and this will not be important in our TF code. This is mainly for the understanding purpose. This is my instance type. Okay, so let's change this to again micro. So this is the thing over here, and we can define one more file over here. I'll tell you why we are doing so. This file name should be as it is terraform.tfvars. Okay, this is the file name I have specified, and the name of the file should be as it is. Okay, this is a restriction you can consider. Why? Means what is the benefit of this file? This is like a precedence purpose. Let's say if I define my instance type as, let's say, t2.medium, this is also comes under the variable. That's why under after at the end you will see vars, means this file is also mainly for the variables thing. So what is the benefit? Let's say within the variables.tf I have defined my instance type equal to t2.micro, and in the terraform.tf vars I have defined it is, let's say, large. So in that case the precedence will be given to the terraform.tf vars. Okay, so even though the value is defined in variables as well and in the terraform.tf vars as well, but whenever I'm going to run terraform plan or terraform apply, the value will get picked up from this location terraform.tfvars. Let's say if I don't have this file terraform.tfvars, then value will get picked up from the variables.tf. Okay, this is like a precedence you can consider. So that's where I said over here default. If there is the variable is not defined or the value of it is not provided in the terraform.tfvars, then consider this as a default value. If the value of this variable is provided in the terraform.tfvars, then consider that value. Okay, so let's see what output we will get over here. So I should get the terraform, sorry, I should get a t2.large because I have added that within the terraform.tfvars. So that file name must be as it is, there is no option to that. Okay, so that's where we have this output t2.large as per our expectations. Okay, so this is the same file, but let's say you want to create a file for different environment, means dev hyphen terraform.tfvars or prod hyphen terraform.tfvars. So that is also one of the option. Let's say if I create one more file dev hyphen let's say dev hyphen variables.tfvars, and I'll create one more, that is nothing but prod hyphen variable. Mean this is a custom Terraform variable file. Okay, what does that mean? In case of dev, let's say I want instance type, sorry, my instance type equal to, I'll define anything, my dev. Okay, even though this doesn't exist, but as I'll just do the plan. So within the plan, things will show you, means the correct things will show you, but when you will do the apply, definitely this instance type doesn't exist, so you will get an error. But we just wanted to learn over here that which value it is going to populate for us. Okay, and in case of prod, I will say my instance type is equal to, let's say, dev, sorry, prod. Okay, in case of prod variables, I have defined prod. In case of dev, I have defined dev. Okay, and extension must be tfr. Extension tfr से इसलिए I can directly write variable equal to a value. Okay, if it's normal extension, then I have to go ahead and write likewise. Okay, so let's say I want to I want to deploy an EC2 instance over the production. Okay, so as I told you, by default this is going to pick a variable from terraform.tfvars, but this time what I want to pick all the values from prod variables.tfvars. Okay, this starting का name कुछ भी हो सकता है, only .tfvars is important in case of custom name. Standard name is this. Okay, if you want to define create a custom, in that case this name can be anything, but extension must be .tfvars. Now let's say I want to make use of this. In that case, what I'm going to do over here, so these many files we have now, and let's do the Terraform plan, but this time I will provide a var file, which is, what is the var file? Let's say variable file is nothing but a production variable file. So in that case, all the variables and their values will get picked up from this file. Okay, so this is a one layer higher, you can say, precedence. Okay, you can see that's why we got instance type as production. And let's see, if I say dev variables.tfvars, then I will get instance type as a dev, because we have defined our variables in the same way. Okay, so always the precedence will be this. Okay, because I have explicitly mentioning use the variable file as this file. Otherwise what it used, let's say if I don't provide this highlighted thing, in that case it used to make the information out of this, मतलब इसके अंदर जो भी लिखा है that it is going to read in that case if I don't provide this highlighted one. Okay, so let's say if you don't have this start tf vars, okay, there are three tf vars. Okay, and let's say if I don't have any of these files, in that case the last option is like variables.tf. So this is the precedence you can consider as of now. And there is one more like restrictions within this, like in case of variables I can define what can be the type of that variable. Matlab it is a string, or it is an array, or it is a numeric. Let's say if I define string. Okay, so what is the meaning of this type equal to string? That is nothing but the value of that variable must be string, it should not be the numbers. Okay, because I know instance type must be t2 dot micro or something like a word. It should not be 1 2 3, it should not be 3 4 5, because that is a number which is not provided even by the AWS. So likewise I can provide the type of that variable as well, so that if I define something else within this section, like maybe something 1 2 3 4 or something like that, in that case we should get an error. Okay, so that's why type is also important. And there are almost 3 to 4 types almost. As of now we have string, Then we have list as well. Then we have map. This we will cover in this later part as well, but there are different types of this, and I think number as well. There are this many are the types of our variable, and we will explore one by one. So basic is a string one. Okay, so this is all about the variables. Understood about it, why we are using it, and how we can make use of it. So now over here I have deleted all this tf vars file, and we are left with this variables.tf only, and within that variable.tf we have defined, means we are making use of the variable var.myInstance type, and the value of that variable is defined over here, t2.micro. So let's go ahead and create our instance. Apply hyphen hyphen auto approve. My instance type invalid quoted string. So I have removed this quotation over here, which I have given earlier to the string. So let's see if it works this time or not, because that is the type of the variable which we don't have to keep within this quotation. So now Terraform apply will go ahead and it is going to create an EC2 instance for us. Now one thing over here, as I told you, that a lot of information will get generated out of it. Like let's say if you create your EC2 instance, in that case you will get a public IP, private IP, DNS, AMI-ID, in which availability zone that EC2 instance got created, and many other things will come up along with a EC2 instance creation, and all those things you will be looking into this section, like in the console. Okay, so one location is to look for all this information is like a AWS console, but as we are doing everything from the backend, so one more location to look into that information is nothing but a state file. In the state file as well you will get the similar kind of information, that which EBS volume is attached, what is the instance ID of that EC2 instance, and then what is the public IP, private IP associated with that EC2 instance. So all those things will be part of this. Okay, but over here my requirement is like, once the EC2 instance got created, I want to look for the public IP or a private IP. Let's say both public IP and a private IP of that EC2 instance. Because every time I create my EC2 instance, I need to go to the state file, search for that string private IP, and get the information from there. But that is because if you are creating hundreds of resources, then this state file will become bulky, and it will be difficult for us to look for the information within that. So that's where, if you want to fetch the data, or if you want to generate, once the EC2 instance got created, it should provide me a information about a public IP, and it should provide me an information about a private IP both. Okay, so in that case we want to get an output of this private IP and public IP, so that's why I need to make use of the output, one of the important things within this Terraform. Let's say my public IP, and the value for this is nothing but, what will be the value associated with the public IP, किसका public IP चाहिए अपने को, AWS instance dot web का public IP चाहिए, and let's say search for the public IP. Similarly, I need the information about the private IP, so let me search for my private IP, and what will be the value of that is nothing but AWS underscore instance. Let me copy paste. Let's say private IP. So I'm getting this many information. So now once my EC2 instance will get created, then I will get an information about a public IP and private IP over here. Let's see if it works or not. So let me try to apply. It's like our EC2 instance is already there, so that doesn't also matter to us. Only thing I am interested in the output section. Okay, has not been declared in the root module. Okay, so I have just modified this hyphen with the underscore because it doesn't support that. Okay, uh, I was thinking it is going to work for us, but I just realized that this hyphen is not going to work over here. So that's why I have modified it to the underscore. So that's where you will see underscore my underscore public underscore IP, and this is the public IP associated, and this public IP we fetched from the state file only. So let's add the code related to the private IP as well. Let's say output section my private IP, and the value for that value for it is nothing but AWS underscore instance private IP. Okay, let's save it and let's do the apply one more time. So this is going to give me an information about a public IP and private IP, and similarly whatever information you require you can get it. Okay, this okay, let me see the output first. Now you can see this is the private IP associated with that, and this is the public IP associated with it, and the same information you will be looking into this state file as well. Okay, so private IP is ending with 139 and public IP ending with 184. So similarly same information, because we always need to look into, because let's say I have installed one nginx on this EC2 instance, let's consider, then I need to get an IP address, and maybe I will just use this IP address over the browser to see the website. So that's where this public IP address is useful. So this is how you can get an information from with the help of output section. Okay, just this output section will not change anything in the infrastructure. This is just to get an output of those values, because whenever you are going to create AWS instance, at the start you don't have any idea about what will be the public IP address and what will be the private IP address. These things you will come to know only after the instance creation part. So that's where we can make use of the output and look for all the details. Now let's look for something else over here in case of, so I'll just delete this, and we will not see this out these things now. Public IP and private IP, we will not get information about it. So it will just say like infrastructure is up to date and all things are okay for us. Okay, so this changes to the output is nothing but we have removed this output section, so that's why I'm getting minus, which is like removed this public and private IP address, and there is nothing to add, destroy, or nothing like that. And this time I should get a infrastructure up to date message. It means whatever infrastructure that I have created, that is already up to date and present on our system. Okay, so this is the thing. Let's consider few more things now. As we will look over here in case of the EC2 instance, this is the running EC2 instance. In case of tags, we don't have any tag over here. What if I need to manage the tags or attach the tags to this EC2 instance? So one way is like by going to the manage console and add the tag, but I want to do it from the Terraform. In that case, let's go to the file. Okay, and then let's add the tags over here. Okay, so the tags value will be likewise. Okay, what tag you want to add? Let's say name will be, let's consider my first EC2 instance. Let's say type of that This is you can add multiple tags, okay, front end. So let's say I want to go ahead and add these tags within my EC2 instance. So let's save it and let's try to hit enter over here, and let's see what things we will get now. So you can add multiple tags with the help of Terraform. That is not concern for us. So over here you will get to see that our EC2 instance is going to change matlab tag section will get added within that. Okay, instance will still remain the same. Instance will not get recreated because there is no need to recreate an instance for adding a tag. So that's why uh, instance is not added or destroyed. Only thing is tags got added over here. Okay, so let's look into whether tags are there or not right now. Let me refresh this page, and in case of tags section you will see type equal to front end and name equal to my first EC2 instance, which is the tag we have associated with it. And let's say I want to create one more instance. Okay, or maybe I'll create a key pair because key pair थोड़ा जल्दी create हो जाता है. Let me copy paste the code. I'll just duplicate it. Let's say if I'm going to create a key pair with the different names. Okay, and within this as well I want to add the same tag. Means I'm creating all the resources with the same tag. So what I have to do, I have to copy this tag at this section. Okay, so I have copied the tags to each and every key pair as well. Okay, so let's save it and let's see if it works for us or not. So it is going to create a key pair along with the tags which we have just provided. So instance is already there, so that will not get recreated. Only key pair will get created. So we have created 3 key pair over here. So let's look into whether it is really created or not in the key pair section. So we got demo deployer key 1 2 3, and let's look into the information associated with that. That is nothing but a tags and all those things. Import key pair manage tags. If I see, so these tags are already available. Type equal to front end, name equal to my first EC2 instance. Okay, so you can see, so these tags are already available within this key pair. But it's not a good practice to copy paste these tags everywhere, because let's say if I have to create 100 resources with the same tags, so I have to copy paste it 100 times, and uske baad let's say I need to add the third one over here. Means in all the 100 resources, then I need to modify the tags of all 100 resources, right? So that is not a good practice to maintain the tags like this. So that's where AWS came up with a solution that is nothing but a local variable. Local variable is mainly to define or to point to the expressions. Okay, this is not a normal variable. This is just an informative things. Okay, it's not like a t2.micro or such kind of thing. This is an expression. Okay, and to this expression, if you want to store within a certain variable, then that will be the local variable. Okay, so let's create it locals. What will, and copy paste this thing, or maybe you can cut paste as well. Tags equal to these things. Okay, so this can be anything like यहाँ पे tags is one of the जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने tags दिखा, so this tags is one of the attribute for this resource. Okay, बट लोकल्स के अंदर कुछ भी लिख सकते हो, लेट्स से कॉमन टैग्स. Okay, and now you have defined common tags equal to these things. Okay, and what I will do, I'll just remove the tags first and then we will attach the tags with the local tags. So for removing the tags, just remove these things. So I don't have any tags associated with my any of the EC2 instance or any of the, and I have just defined this local. So defining is nothing but just declaring it. अभी अपन इसको use नहीं कर रहे. I'll show you the use case of this as well. Okay, and let me delete the third deployer as well. That is, let's keep only two. Okay, if I delete the code, anyone can tell me what if अभी यहाँ से code मैंने delete कर दिया deployer 3 का, so what is going to happen internally? If you delete this code, it means you no longer require this key pair. Okay, the third key pair का मैंने जब code delete किया, so automatically it will delete this key pair as well, because I have deleted the code. It means I'm not means it's not required for me. So internally, third key pair will get deleted automatically. Okay, this is the uh, it's all basis on the state file only, because now this is the desired state. Yesterday we have seen desired state is deployer 1 होना चाहिए, deployer 2 होना चाहिए, deployer key 1 deployer key 2 होना चाहिए. Desired state में कहीं mention ही नहीं है, let's say deployer key 3. In that case, automatically that third key will get deleted. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply it. So apply में अपना tags remove हो जाएंगे, and second thing is nothing but third key pair delete हो जाएगा. So if you are deleting any code, it means you no longer have to manage it, so automatically things will get destroyed. Okay, so you can see 1 to destroy, so that is nothing but a where is that destroying, deployer 3 is destroying over here. And for the rest, this tags will get removed. Okay, so जो भी tags मैंने define किए थे all will get removed. Now let's look into this. We no longer have deployer 3 now, and for the deployer key 1, what are the tags? There is no tags because I have removed it. So if you remove it from the code, it means when after removing it from the code, and if you do the apply, in that case those tags will get removed from AWS as well. Now let's manage the tags via these locals, because I want to locally define the tags in one of the variable and use that variable in all the resources. Okay, so let's make use of this. Tags is one of the attribute over here, and let's make use of the local dot common tags. Okay, now this locals लिखते टाइम locals लिखना पड़ता है, but जब कॉल करते हैं that time you have to make use of only local, we don't have to provide s. So local dot common tags, so इसके अंदर जो भी expression लिखा होगा, that expression will get assigned to the tags, and we will get a commonly managed tag. So let's copy this everywhere. So like we will be making use of tags equal to local dot common tags in each and every resource. Okay, so once we are done with this, let's go ahead and do the Terraform apply. So this apply is going to again modify the tags for us. Now why do we need to manage centrally? That I'll show you. Just let it finish first. Okay, so things got created successfully, 3 resources got changed, and after changing it, let's see the tags associated with it. Yeah, we got that same tags again. Now what if I need to add one more tag? Okay, so I don't have to change any of the resource. Okay, these things will remain the same. Only thing I need to add the extra tag over here. Let's say add subodh equal to dere. Okay, so that's all I have to do, and if I do the apply, then automatically this extra tag will get attached to each and every resource. Okay, so this is like, that's why I was saying we need to manage it at the central location. We don't have to copy paste on 100 EC2 instance, because if थर्ड लाइन ऐड करना है तो 100 रिसोर्सेज के अंदर ऐड करना पड़ेगा इन दैट केस इफ यू डोंट मैनेज इट सेंट्रली. Okay, so let's add it and apply it. So this is going to add subod equal to dere tag in each and every resource. Okay, so only change is nothing but subod equal to dere, so it is going to do that definitely for us. So it will modify deployer 1, deployer 2 and EC2 instance as well. So I got subod equal to dere over here. Now let's consider you have created an EC2 instance and you have created a lot many things over here. So I'll talk about EC2 instance over here. Okay, so let's say we have this EC2 instance up and running at our end, and our application is also perfectly working fine. But let's say someone log into this EC2 instance with the help of this connect option, and after that that person have done lot of changes within that EC2 instance file system manually, and suddenly our application stopped working. So in that case, what we have to do, instead of debugging the same thing, we just have to recreate this EC2 instance, right? So we have to just terminate this EC2 instance and we have to create it again. So let's say if you have out of 10 EC2 instance, 3 resources or 3 EC2 instance are faulty now, means there are uh, manual modifications happened within that EC2 instance, and because of that our application is not working perfectly fine. Okay, so in that case definitely we can recreate, but that recreate option is like in that case you have to do the two things. One is like Terraform destroy and Terraform apply. Okay, so for that matter, instead of doing all those things, just we have to taint that resource. Okay, tainting a resource is nothing but making sure that that same resource will get recreated on the next apply. Okay, so how you have to taint that resource, things will get created in the practical. So you just have to make use of the Terraform taint AWS instance. Okay, so let's see what is the benefit of making use of this. Terraform taint, and किसको taint करना है, let's say I have to taint to this instance, so I'll just copy dot web. So as soon as I taint this resource, so this is marked as a tainted now. Okay, so as soon as you taint this resource, in the state file you will see the same information that this resource is now tainted. Earlier this line was not there, status equal to tainted. This just got added just because we have just tainted this resource. So if I taint any of the resource, it means that resource will get recreated when I do the apply. Okay, so why I have tainted it, because there are certain manual modifications which I don't want to fix it manually. That's why simply I will recreate a resource. So let's do the Terraform apply now. So this is going to destroy that EC2 instance and create a new EC2 instance in place of that if we taint it. Okay, and after, let's see, if I do the taint and मुझे लगता है कि मैंने गलती से taint कर दिया, तो I can make use of the untaint as well. Okay, so you can see one resource to destroy and one to add. So the previous EC2 instance will get destroyed. This one with the my first EC2 instance, ये destroy हो जाएगा. You can see now I don't have any EC2 instance over here, so that instance got shutting down. shutting down is the state right now. So once that instance will get terminated, then our new instance will get created in place of that. So Terraform Taint is mainly for recreating an resource if that is damaged, or let's say someone manually done some bad work over there. So this destruction completed, and now this is the completion of the destruction, and it is under the creation. So new instance is getting created with the same thing, okay, with the same tag, with the same information like t2.micro, with the same instance AMI ID. So rest of the things will remain the same. Only thing is over here, the previous instance will get terminated, which was this instance ID. Now we got a newer instance ID. Okay, so this is about the taint, and it got recreated. Let's say abhi, what is the things within the state file. So now if you can see state file के अंदर status equal to taint नहीं है, right? So let's say if I again taint that resource, again that line will get added that we have to recreate this. So status equal to tainted यहाँ पे फिर से add हो गया. It means again if I do the apply, then a resource will get recreated. If I say कि I have tainted this resource by mistake, so you can untaint it as well. So you can remove the taint associated with that resource as well. So untaint has been successful over here. So that line will again get, so it means again our resource will become the normal. It will not get recreated if we have untaint it later on. So this is the thing about a tainting over here. Okay, now we'll look into some simple commands over here. That is nothing but a formatting and certain things related to the validation. So let's say formatting अपन देखते हैं. Let's say what I'll do, I'll just make use of one more terminal over here, just for simplicity. Okay, so यहाँ से भी Terraform के commands चलेंगे. Terraform fmt, fully qualified, cannot found exception. अच्छा, Terraform लिखा मैंने, which is wrong. It's a form. Okay, so why this fmt is required? fmt is mainly for formatting your code. मतलब आपने let's say कुछ spaces है और मैंने यहाँ पे extra दे दिए. It will not impact our code. Okay, आपने Terraform अप्लाई भी कर दिया तो अपना अप्लाई चल जाएगा सही से, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यहाँ पे भी एक्स्ट्रा दे दिए, बट इट doesn't look good for understanding because our code syntax तो सही होना ही चाहिए, but number of spaces, standardization, that also should be good. So for that matter we do the formatting. Formatting से क्या होगा, सारे इक्वल टू साइन एक लाइन के अंदर आ जाएंगे. ये एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस मैंने दिया है ये निकल जाएगा. ओके, सो यहाँ पे अभी आप देख सकते हो दो जगह पे मैंने एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस दे रखा है, नंबर लाइन 4 एंड 11 पे. एंड इफ आई डू fmt अगेन, automatically those things will come within a single line. You can see मुझे manually नंबर ऑफ स्पेसेस या फिर कोड को लुक वाइज सही करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. आई जस्ट हैव टू राइट द कोड and it should be only in a working condition. And once I do the Terraform fmt, and then in that case automatically our structure of the code will look good. In that case, that is the only use case of the fmt. But this is because whenever you will be uploading code to the repository, so that code should be readable. आप इक्वल टू साइन यहाँ पे रख देते हो, एक का दूसरा का यहाँ पे कर देते हो, विच इज सिंटैक्स के लिए अपना कोड एकदम परफेक्ट है. आप टेराफॉर्म अप्लाई भी करोगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगा आपको, बट इट डजंट लुक गुड. And that's why this fmt is going to help us in making the things proper. And one thing is like validation. Like let's say if you want to validate the code whether you have written it perfect or not, so terraform plan जब करते हो तब internally validate चलता है, but validate is also one of the command which is going to give you an output कि आपने जो code लिखा है वो syntactically सही है कि नहीं. So let's see. So now you can see success configuration is valid. Let's say मैं AMI को AMI 1 कर देता हूँ यहाँ पे, and within AWS instance resource there is no AMI 1 as a tag. मतलब attribute ऐसा नहीं है, अपना attribute normal AMI है. So that's where if you do the Terraform validate now, it should throw me an error that AMI 1 ऐसे करके कोई attribute नहीं है अपने पास. So you can see the argument named AMI1 is not expected over here. Did you mean AMI? So it will give some hint as well. So once I make it correct, then we will get a not FMT validate, then we will get a success over it. So this validate is mainly for the validation purpose, whether your code is syntactically correct or not. सेम आउटपुट लेट्स से मैंने फिर से 1 यहाँ पे ऐड कर देता हूँ. सेम आउटपुट यू विल गेट विद इन द प्लान सेक्शन एज वेल, बिकॉज प्लान इंटरनली ऑल्सो वैलिडेट योर कोड. इट्स नॉट ओनली प्लान द थिंग्स, internally it will validate the code, and then if your validation is successful, then only it will go ahead and proceed further. So that's where you can see in the plan as well you will get one AMI1 ka issue you are getting over here, because this AMI1 is not a correct attribute. Correct one is the only AMI. And now if you do the plan, definitely it is going to work, and validate is also going to work, because things are perfectly fine. Means each and everything which I have written over here looks good, and it's syntactically correct as well. So that's why I'm getting success configuration is valid. So that's all I wanted to cover in this section. I hope you understood the things.